Hi guys, this is Giga from 2100 News. We're live from Istanbul today. I'm here with Naeem. How are you doing, Naeem?
I'm very well, thank you. Excited to be here.
Thank you very much. Could you please tell us about your work? What do you do?
So I work as a Chief Investment Officer for Think Markets and also a Forbes columnist. Previously, I started my journey as a hedge fund trader from Bank of New York Mellon, and then worked with Bank of America for a very short period of time as in equity trading. The question is why? The answer is simple, because I was introduced to the idea of a blockchain. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go and start working on something which is involved in the blockchain. So since then, I've been heavily involved in cryptos, in blockchain, in this part of the equation, and that's what I am geared for now.
So what do you think about this whole market? Do you think it can really revolutionize the whole world?
I think, like, in terms of a blockchain, there's no question that this is the biggest disruptive, it's going to bring the biggest disruption in all industries across the world. And the potential is absolutely massive. We are seeing banks adopting it, we are seeing governments adopting it, and every other industry is very, very closely looking at it. And there are clearly a lot of evidence out there that where you have saved millions and billions of dollars by using and adopting blockchain. I mean, who knows? Maybe in a few years' time there would be something which is based on the blockchain what we are doing it over here.
That's great. I agree as well. I think it's the biggest thing since invention of the internet.
For sure. I think a lot of people are very much interested, and then they're looking at it, especially the ICO space with initial coin offering. And they do think that they make a comparison of what happened back in that internet media, in the internet time frame, and how companies were just, the stock market was exploding. And now they're looking at the ICO market, and then the question that I'm being asked is that, do you see that there's so much comparison? And I say that yes, I do see there's a lot of comparison between that market and what is happening in the market now. But at the same time, let's not forget what came out of that tech bubble. What came out was Google, like one of Amazon, eBay. So these are some really companies which have changed the landscape of, for instance, for shopping. Look, how many people are actually going into the stores? Everyone is doing online shopping. Walmart, if you see their earnings results, you will clearly see that how Amazon has outpaced, because people are online, they're sitting on it. And I think blockchain, the technology right now, this is what the blockchain technology is going to do. It's going to make the world even more efficient. It's going to make things a lot more easier for a general public, just like people like you and me will be able to see a very major differences, especially in the human diagnostics area as well. I think I am really big when it comes to fintech and blockchain. Anything which has an involvement with it, I do look at it very closely, and especially within the ICO industry. So my potential is that, okay, so what I wanted to look at that, okay, look, I have a massive filter that I would apply to any ICO. Anything is happening there, and then if they pass that criteria, the next step is to sit down with the CEO, with the CTO, with the team, and then actually see if this is just an idea which exists on a napkin or on a paper, or if there's a real team behind it. Once we have sorted that out, and then we've seen the potential for the ecosystem, I think that's where I try to deploy my services with them.
There's a big pullback happening in the prices of Bitcoin now, because what you're talking about now, I think everybody were the same opinion when everything was growing, it was blooming, everybody were 100% sure. But now all of a sudden, when we have this slight pullback, the people have doubts again. What do you think about this pullback? Can you give us your take from your perspective?
I think the word slight literally in this respective means 50% discount of the face value, because Bitcoin was, let's say, 20,000 and now we're trading at 10,000. What is my perspective? Look at the equity market. Look at the bull rally that we have seen in the equity market since the financial crisis. That market is consistently rising. and we have seen that big, massive move, right? So there's a tech bubble in that for sure. There's a bubble in that in the equity market as well. There's a bubble in every single sector that you can pretty much say so. But yes, there are ways to play the bubble that you can still, let's say, put some limits in relation to how much losses that you wanted to take, and your upside is, again, it's uncapped. The upside is just your upside, whatever you wanted to take out of it. So I do still believe that Bitcoin has a lot more room to run. Right now, what we have seen is that we are seeing more consolidation. We are seeing less volatility in Bitcoin because I do analysis on Bitcoin and different cryptocurrencies and talk about the different indicators which could perhaps be more useful. But remember, when it comes to the Bitcoin price or when it comes to the crypto coins, it's more about the fundamentals which matter the most. So read any of the articles that I've written on Forbes. You'll get a really good idea about that.
Thank you very much. Could you tell us, you're a columnist for Forbes, so what's the easiest way to find you? Just Google your name or go to Forbes?
So my hashtag for my Twitter is Naeem Aslam 23. You will see it right under this video. And same for the Facebook, Naeem Aslam 23. If you wanted to find me on Forbes, so just type Naeem Aslam Forbes on Google. If you wanted to see any of the interviews that I've done with the tier 1 media like CNBC, Bloomberg or Fox businesses, just type my name and everything will come up. Because I did on the live television on a Fox, I think with the BNN, we did pick out the bottom in crude oil when oil was trading at 27 and 28, and everyone was saying that, look, it's not going to get back to 60, that's not possible. But we did say that, okay, look, I think we have seen a massive sell-off in oil, and this is a point where one should look at this as an opportunity that it exists in the market.
If you picked up a bottom in crude oil, then you must have a pretty good trader's background, and you spoke about good indicators early on. Could you maybe tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, so indicators that I use in relation to price analysis, these are technical analysis, but we do not talk about the general stuff like, okay, you use a MACD, you use a RSI, or you use this one. But interestingly, I do use them, but fundamentals are very important, and I think what is the key important is not every indicator works on every single time frame. That's where you have to make sure, and not if you are using 200-day moving average on a daily time frame, that's not necessarily the best moving average. It's the number of the moving average which matters the most. So if you are looking on an active time frame, 30-minute time frame, it could be moving average which is 39, it could be 49, and this is where expert opinion matters, and that's what we do.
Do you believe in correlation of using the moving averages the same for stocks or forex or crypto? Because from my own knowledge, I think that the volatility is much different per se in fiat currencies than trading the crypto.
I think in Forex, the volatility is completely different to equity market, and when you compare both markets with the cryptocurrencies, the volatility is altogether different. But talking about a crypto market, I think technical analysis can go only so far because it's a relatively new market. It's the fundamentals, which news to look at and which news to ignore. That's what it matters.
Naeem, thank you very much for your time. We wish you a lot of success. This is Giga from Istanbul, 2100 Skok.